comes on can come on and all that stuff. So, good evening. Do not mind my voice. I sound very hoarse. I'm still recovering from last week's festivities. So don't mind the raspiness. I just was very compelled and really just had this heart to come on and just chat with you. And so, like, I reached out to Jess this morning. I was like, listen, I just felt this urge to talk to you and I just wanted to do it. So that's where we are. So that's kind of why I was like, all right, we're going to on a Zoom. So I titled this Be Inspired, Not Intimidated, because it kind of correlated and it really was the aha moment for me as I was competing last weekend. Because especially with us, we're a whole group of women, and it is very easy to get caught up in what everyone else is doing. And it can almost, in a sense, make us feel so defeated and frustrated and flustered. It makes us have all these different types of emotions, especially those that might be brand new to network marketing. They've never done it. So it's already an intimidating thing because it's like, I've never done this before, especially when you reached out to your upline and you're like, this is completely outside of my norm. And even those that are veterans that have done network marketing, the way we kind of do things here is so different. Where we're not cold messaging, where we're not spamming, and we're not doing all these weird things that most people are doing in their MLMs. So in our mind, it can be so simple to be thinking about, well, what is that person doing? Or, oh my gosh, what they're doing is just so over the top. I can't do that. And it's easy for us to do that. We can look at Jess, we can look at Shay, we can look at Stacy or look at Kristen and be like, I can't do what they do. They just have this boldness, and we get in our heads. We then are like, well, maybe this isn't for me. We're quick to think that way and get in that thought process. And so we've already counted ourselves as a loss. We've already called it quits on ourselves because we've already played this defeat mode. And I tied this into kind of my competition last week because, I was going against women that have been doing powerlifting for years. I still would consider myself a new power lifter because I've been really training properly for it for like 3 to 4 years, where there's some that have been doing it forever, that are just naturally gifted. There were women that were a lot stronger than me when I went in there, and I knew that. And I could have easily counted myself out. I could have been like, well, why am I even bothering going? Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I putting myself through this torture? Because these women are just 10 times better than I am. What am I? I'm just a mom. Like these women, they don't have kids. They work from home. They have more free time. I'm just trying to make by each and every single day just to get this training in. And that could have easily been the headspace and the mindset I could have put myself into. But instead, I chose to be inspired by it. I chose to be motivated by it and be like, you know what? If they can do that with no kids, no really huge responsibilities, and crush it, by darn it, I can do the same thing even with my crazy life. And I chose to not allow my setback or the things that I have going on in my life to stop me from chasing a dream that I've always wanted to do. And that's why for me, earning the medals that I earned was just an added bonus. It wasn't even about earning a medal because I could have gone in there and not earned a single thing or made any sort of impact. And it would have been still okay because I worked hard for it. And what was very awesome is people that inspired me that I thought were absolutely incredible had came up to me later and they're like, man, you're just unbelievable. And it was so nice to hear. Usually it's the opposite where I'm always like in awe of other people, like, wow, you're just so cool. And to hear it from somebody else, that's amazing. So I want you to think about it too, like this way with your business. You may think that you're not making a big impact or making this big fuss or being inspiring. You are. Your story, whatever you're doing day to day, is inspiring somebody. Somebody is really looking at you from the sidelines and they're like, man, I'm just so amazed by what they're doing. They could be looking at Christy like, man, this single mom, she's killing it. She's over here. She's used to just sit around, not do nothing. And now this chick's just running every single day and not letting any excuse stop her and just push it. And people looking at Kristen like, man, she started out as a teen mom, but man, look at what she's overcome. She still graduated high school. She still got her college degree, and she's over here thriving, just kicking ass. That's that's what people on the sidelines are seeing. We may not see that because we just get so caught up in us. We can get so caught up in all of our faults, all of our flaws, all of the things that we think we're failing at or we're not doing well in. But other people on the side see something completely different. That's why it's important to be inspired by everyone that you see. Don't let them intimidate you. Don't get intimidated by, what you see one of us doing or what you see any other leaders doing. Don't even get intimidated by what you see people that aren't in network marketing by what they're doing. Because remember, we talked about this. They're highlight reels. Half the time, people are just showing you the glitz and the glam of their life. They're not giving you the nitty gritty. They're not giving you the hard. We here, and this is something Jess talks about all the time, we talk about the hard. We talk about the things when shit really hits the fan. We talk about things that nobody wants to talk about. That is what is inspiring people. That is what's making people be like, that is absolutely insane. That's what we're here to do. We're not here to just give the cookie cutter, hey, look at my kids. They're so perfect. Everything's good. Look at my perfect body, my perfect hair. We're not here to do that. We're here to let them know, hey, life is crazy. These kids are out of control. Sometimes I'm wondering how they're still breathing, but you know what? I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to give you what I need to give you. That's what they want. And that's what people need to see. I guarantee you, not every one of my training days was a perfect, picture perfect day. I had crap training days. There were days I just wanted to cry and just kick and scream. And those were the moments I shared. I didn't always share the glitz and the glam of lifting because it's not. Especially when you train 6 months for a competition, you are certainly not going to always have good days. So that's what it's about, especially in this business. It's okay. So you might have gone months on end without a customer. It's okay. You still keep showing up because you know what? There's going to come a day you sharing about your 3 steps. You're sharing about the skincare. You're sharing about that. Who was it? Was it Tisha or Mandy? One of them kept. I think it was Mandy talking about their skincare line, consistently sharing about the skincare every single day for like 2 months, and then boom, she had 2 customers that bought skincare orders. That's all it takes. You just keep doing it. You keep going. You keep going. You don't stop. Now, yes, you're gonna have days where you need to you gotta unplug. You've got to take a day. You've got to take a mental day. Like there is nothing wrong with that. It's healthy. You've got to fill your cup up first before you can even think of trying to fill anybody else's cup. Because if your cup is empty, you're literally just going in there, just going through the motions, and nobody wants to go through the motions. But don't think that what you're doing isn't doing something for somebody else. Don't think that your story is in vain. Don't think you're not being an inspiration to somebody else. But don't let what anyone else do stop you from chasing your dreams and your goals. We all set a goal for ourselves when we first joined this business. Honestly, you should be setting a goal for yourself every single month, every single week, and every single day. You should be saying to yourself each day, what am I hoping to achieve today? And you work your ass off until you achieve it. If it doesn't happen, there's tomorrow. You got to keep going. You can't allow because somebody else might have a little bit more, umph in them to stop you. Remember, just because we all are in here promoting Thrive in 3 steps doesn't mean we're all sharing it this same exact way. It doesn't necessarily mean that um what's the word? It doesn't mean our audience is looking at all of us. They're looking at you. The people that you are attracting are looking at you. Even if they follow more than one of us, they may be looking at you specifically because there is something different about you that you're saying in your story. So don't think because Jess says something even more wiser. She's got that wisdom post, or because Kristen comes with these fire inspirational quotes, or whatever the case may be, or, Mandy has the most gorgeous filters, whatever the case is. Don't think because what they're doing is invalid to what you're doing. You still got to show up for you. We can't let go of what our why is. We can't yes, robbing the world from you. When you hinder yourself, when you block yourself because you're so consumed by what the other person's doing and you're not doing exactly like them, and then you quit on yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're allowing somebody else to steal your joy, to steal the goodness that there is of you. Don't do that. Do not allow that. That is something that I have learned in the past almost 3 years of being in this. Every year, it's always different. Every part of the season is going to be different. You are, like I've said in the past, you are going to have great seasons, and then you're going to have not great seasons. But those quote unquote not great seasons are the moments where you learn, you grow, you study, you game plan. You say, okay, what can I do for when that amazing season does come? You keep going though. You don't let it stop you just because, customers aren't there right now. You're not getting the promoters that you thought you were going to get, or the people that said, yeah, I'm on fire, let's go, all of a sudden ghost you, or they stop ordering. Don't let those things stop you, because it's going to happen regardless. You're going to go through that. Nobody on here can say, I still have the same exact customer that I have since day one. And if you do, that's awesome. But I can guarantee you, some of you don't, because either finances got tight, something happened, or they saw the next new shiny toy. That's the same with your team members. You are not always going to have some of the same people that joined you, because, like I said, the people that are all about the quick fix because they want that microwave effect, they look at the next new appliance that's available and they're like, oh, I want that. But the true people that know that there's something bigger, those are the ones that are going to stick around, and you're going to know that. I could have easily, and I told you this, I could have easily quit when I did not hit VIPs those first 2 weeks. When I didn't hit them, I could be like, well, all right, I'm out of here. Let's go. And then to think of what I would have missed out on. I would have never met Kristen. I would have never met Becca. I would have never met Brett. I would have never hit that $2,000 bonus when I hit 4K. I wouldn't have missed out. I would have missed out on so many opportunities that were given, that were brought to my life, had this not have happened. Do you really think I'd have the confidence that I have now? Jess knows. Jess has known me for a long time, and I've told you this. The person that she knew when I was in high school is not the same person she is seeing today. It's a different person. Had it not been for this business, had it not been for me self-developing, learning about self-development, had I quit in those first 2 weeks, I would not be the person that I am right now. And that's taken a lot of growth, and taken a lot of patience, and taken a lot of perseverance. I'm not quitting. Some people are like, why don't you just stop? For what? Why would I stop? The goods are just coming. Regardless if I hit the rank matching bonus or not, I'm not gonna stop. Pedal to the metal. Because you know what? There's gonna be another bonus that comes out. There's going to be another opportunity that comes out. There's always something that this company keeps giving to us. Exactly. We don't play here. We don't play to quit. We play to win. Honestly, if I had missed, if like the week before my competition, like training was it was awful. It was not the best. Had I just say, you know what? I'm not gonna do the competition. I'm just gonna stay home. I mean, I wouldn't have done the things that I had done if I just said, well, training was crap, so I'm just not going to do it. It's not going to bother. No, you keep going. You keep pushing. You don't allow the setbacks to stop you from the comebacks, from the successes, from the bigger things that are in store for you. But you also have to be you have to be patient with it, but you also have to keep going with it. You still have to be consistent. You can't just sit there, Shay, and I know Shay said this on a bunch of lives. You can't just sit there and expect it to show up. You can't just be like, well, I'm not gonna post my stories, I'm not gonna post about the business. I'm not even gonna talk about the fact that I do thrive, but I'm just gonna sit here and wait and hope somebody reaches out to me. That's not how that works. You still got to keep showing up. You still got to keep letting people see it. When they keep seeing it and they keep seeing it, then that's when you see the change. So that's why a lot of times when I wear my DFTs, I peacock it. I'll wear it where people can see it. And then when people ask me what it is, I talk about it. Sometimes I don't always show it off, but that's okay. But that's what I do. But you got to keep showing up. Got to keep showing up for you. Don't show up for your upline. Don't show up for us, your sidelines. Show up for you. You remember, do this for you. Do not do this to try to impress anybody. Remember why you started. We all need to go back to the first day we reached out to whomever we reached out to and remember what was it about this that made us want to join. And that's really what it is. It literally is 3 years this month that I reached out to Shay. It was like, hey, what is it that you and Jess are doing? Took me another 3 months till I signed up. But I remember when I first saw her post and then I saw Jess post and I was like, what is it that they're doing? I remember the day that I got into her inbox and said, what is this? And it took me a little bit, but she was patient. But you need to go back to that first day when the interest came up, when you heard about these 3 steps that were just going to work for however your body worked, and then go back to that. And don't be afraid. Here's another thing, and I'm talking to myself too. Don't be afraid to talk about the different bonuses, the different things that this business offers. Don't be afraid of talking about that auto bonus. Do not be afraid to talk about it. I know we all kind of like money, cars, like all that. I know sometimes we cringe a little bit and get a little bit uncomfortable, like hives start breaking out, but don't be afraid to talk about it. Whether you've earned it or not, it is available. And again, I'm talking to myself too. It is available. So think about how amazing it would be to not have to stress about a car payment, because what is the biggest stress factor for any of us that drive? Is a car payment. That is the biggest thing that we all stress about. Like, oh my gosh, I got to pay this car payment. How am I going to do it? So wouldn't it be nice to not worry about a car payment? So why aren't we talking about it? I mean, it's a no-brainer. Earning these products for free, that is something we have to talk about more than just on the second of the month. Yes, we talk about it on the second of the month when credits day happens. And that's another thing. Even if you don't earn credits that month, you still talk about it. But you need to talk about the fact that we can earn our products for free, regardless if you've earned it or not. And big thing, regardless if you get a paycheck every single Tuesday or not, you still talk about the fact that we have the ability to earn a paycheck every single Tuesday. You have to talk about it. That is the only way you are going to see things happen. Because then you are going to get that person that's like, you know what, I would love to earn side income. And then you explain about the business. You explain how we have that opportunity to not pay for our products. We have the opportunity to earn a cash bonus. How many of you can say that this week you talked about that $800 cash bonus and the $200 free product credit? And that's something, and that's a honest question. Like I'd have to look back to say, did I talk about it this week? Did I talk about it the other day? And if the answer is no, that means you need to start talking about it. Post it in your stories. Make a post out of it. I don't care how you do it, but it needs to be done. It's time we get honest with ourselves. Are you allowing what is happening in everyone else's social media because they may do it a little bit better? I'm not there yet. You got to grow in this. Nobody starts off with the perfect post. Sometimes I still feel like I don't have the quote unquote perfect post. Nobody starts off with having these fire photos, but you got to start somewhere. You start at the bottom, you work your way up. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. The more you learn about presets, the more you learn about how to properly use your hashtags, the more you learn about how to do cute little, like, cool unfolds with like music and videos and all that kind of stuff. But you got to start somewhere. The problem is, I think what happens is we see everyone else do all these cool things and we're like, oh, I got to do that. But then you get so overwhelmed and you're like, no, I can't do it. Stop focusing on that. Be inspired, but don't let it take over. And if you have questions on how to do it, ask. Ask a sister. I guarantee, just message them. Be like, hey, I loved how you did that. Can you show me how to do that? Or do you mind if I also use your unfold or whatever graphic that you use? Do you mind if I use that? I don't think any of us are going to say no. Unless it's a picture of us, then we'll say no, use your own picture. But we'll definitely be willing to like show you how to do it. But you don't know unless you ask. There's been times like I've seen Kristen post something like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? Can you show me? I've asked Sarah and she showed me. Ask a sister. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to reach out. But it starts with us. It starts with us holding ourselves accountable, calling ourselves out for our own BS, and just doing it. You ladies are amazing. And don't forget that. Your story is impactful. Your story is going to change somebody's life. Your story is going to make a difference. And whether you are having a amazing season right now where like the enrollments are rolling in, the customers are popping, all of the things are happening, whether you're having that kind of season or it's a little bit of a dry season, the tumbleweeds are rolling right now. You don't quit. You don't give up. Because the more you prep yourself here in your mind, which is why we say self-development, when you prep yourself here and in here and know you got this, oh man, when that season comes, when that breakthrough happens, when that rainbow hits, oh, you're going to be ready for it and you're going to be like, all right, let's go. But you got to trust it. You got to trust the timing and still celebrate your sisters. Don't get envious of your sisters. Celebrate them. Be proud of them because you don't know what their storm was. You don't know what their off season looked like because half the times we don't always share about it. You don't know what somebody was struggling through 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago. So celebrate your sisters that are winning right now. Because then when it's your turn, you're going to want to hope that you got that same result where they celebrate you, cheer you on and say, you got this, you're rocking it. So just remember that. Today is a perfect day, International Women's Day, where it's all about empowering women. We do that on the daily. We need to treat every single day like it's International Women's Day and just celebrate, uplift our sisters, love on each other, speak life into one another, and encourage each other. I feel like we do a great job at that, but you need to continue to do that. Don't get jealous. Don't get intimidated. Don't get defeated by someone's winning season. Be inspired by it. Let it fuel you to want to be just as incredible. So that's all I had. It was really sparking in my soul. So I hope this helped. This is recorded. This will be posted up. I love you guys so much. And just know you are absolutely amazing. You are amazing. I see you guys. I may not always comment all the time, but I see you. I see the work you're putting in. And it's not going unnoticed. A lot of us see you. And you guys are rocking it. Have a great rest of your Monday. And yeah, love y'all.